one piece of research where we, with Kellogg and Google, actually went to talk to, I think it was almost 1,000 different marketers across the world, from CMO all the way down, to understand what is actually happening with AI and how do you feel about it and what are the barriers to progress.
Okay, and so generally after doing that sort of straw poll, what was the sentiment that you were largely picking up on? Positive, is it fear, or are people seeing it more as an opportunity?
I think it's has a decent amount of anxiety in it, and that is a lot of what we were trying to unpack and understand. So I'd say maybe two main insights. One, lots of companies are using AI. 88% of companies are using AI. When we ask marketers, over 60% of them are saying that they're using it like multiple times a week, but then less than 10% of those companies say they've actually really seen value capture from it. And so there's this disconnect between usage and the aspiration and real business impact.
Yeah.
The second main insight was there's a lot of anxiety and we need to move from anxiety to advantage, is how I like to say it.
Okay.
So if you go and talk to the marketing teams, they are really excited about AI, right? So 86% of them are like, this is great. I'm excited about using AI within my job in marketing. That could be anyone from a copywriter to the CMO to a media optimization analyst. So 86 are excited, but 57% are super anxious. Okay, well, what does it mean? Then if you talk to the CMOs, 96% of them are excited, 71% are anxious. And what was most shocking to me is 80% of them were actually worried about their job. Like the actual implications for them. What does this mean for me in my role?
Yeah, what would be your key advice to CMOs now, those people who are feeling that fear?
So a few things. First, you really have to have a narrative that isn't just about efficiency. And I think we see this at all the companies we talk to, is that AI came in, not even just to marketing, to technology, to engineering, other functions. And there is a very big focus on productivity and efficiency, which reads as we are saving money, we are cutting, which I think is a reality and actually a benefit of AI. I think leading companies realize they can't just focus the narrative on an AI transformation that leads to cost cutting. You have to have a growth aspiration. So I think that's one thing. Leaders are focusing on growth, not just efficiency, but both. I'd say the second thing we see leading organizations doing is they are not waiting for like perfect data. So a big conversation since last year, I remember it last year in Cannes, our data is not good enough. We really need to shore up the foundation before we can make progress with AI. Sure, but there's actually value to be captured now. And so I'd say leading organizations are kind of taking two speeds. So they are figuring out where can I actually show value. Maybe it's in customer support, maybe it is some version of personalization. And then how do I continue to make progress on my data foundation and rewire workflows, which is another key thing that leaders are really doing.
Indeed. So you've broken down, you've given some indications there of what people should be doing, but how?
Yeah.
How do you implement those things right now, considering there is this climate of fear and anxiety?
Yeah. In the research, we profiled a fintech player, Chime, and I think their story is one of the best ones out there. Their CMO of Anit was really focused on this is a staged organizational transformation versus I'm going to go roll out some technology. And I've seen this a couple other companies take the same approach, where they say, okay, phase one, we're going to give you guys the enterprise tools you need to just make your day-to-day lives more effective. So Kelsey, you as a marketer, here are a bunch of tools. This hopefully makes your day better, lets you save time, lets you be more impactful. So stage one is, I think we called it like normalization. They normalized what it means to use AI. Stage two is actually transforming some of the core jobs. So back to my point around, hey, where can you see value? Taking something like media optimization or customer support and really finding out how do I, and sweating those specific jobs and driving value through those. And in the case of that company, they actually saw real value. So it was, 10-week campaign cycle down to 4, return on ad spend up by almost 20%. And that again is both efficiency and growth. And they were able to talk about it as a growth driver. And no longer needed to think these things are all trade-offs. And then the third phase, which I think most companies are not quite there yet, is then how do you reimagine whole workflows from like front to end? And I think in Chime's case, they call it go-to-market AI factories. How do you take agents, humans, and workflows and just reimagine and kind of clean sheet how all that work should get done? But that last part's an intimidating place to start. And so I think we're seeing this phased transformational approach be really successful.
I see. Thank you very much for your time today.
Thanks for having me.
Euronews. Thank you.